Let's start again. Nancy Goldfield. Nancy Goldfield. All right. Nancy Pelosi. Still progressive. Nancy Pelosi. 12th District, San Francisco. The San Francisco Peninsula. 700,000 people in the town of San Francisco. 7 million people on the Bay Area. So she represents the town of San Francisco, and you can afford to live in San Francisco. We already got you as a moneymaker. But that is where she's at. The Honorable Nancy Pelosi. Super honorable. Super honorable. And if you want to check out her recent votes, you can check out the clerk's office for that. They always have things nicely and boringly, conveniently. I think we all know her voting history. We don't need to dig too far into Nancy Pelosi's voting history. It's pretty well known. Everybody hears what she has to say, and we all kind of know where she's coming from. As far as other history, Paul Pelosi, her husband, now he's, if anybody has any tertiary, non-mainstream media lookings, first thing everybody kind of looks at when they look at Pelosi is right up here, right up in that wonderful section there is going to be the net worth. With her $223,000 a year, her net worth is somehow 88 million on this one. I've seen several websites that were left-leaning that said 120 million at the moment, and then I saw some right-leaning sites, some Breitbart-style sites that said that her husband is worth 315 million and didn't really attack her 100 million. But they that does have to question where exactly she lays at the actual wealth. And anybody typical with that much wealth is almost always hiding more than they're showing. That was the case with Romney. He had quite a lot of hiding. So I'm going to guess Pelosi has quite a lot of hiding as well. And she's the minority leader, so she serves on no committees. So that's at least one good thing. But we know that she pushes the votes, or she does not vote. What does she not vote on? On restricting online campaign ads. Huh. That's odd. She has no opinion on the online campaign ads. That's a surprise. Good for you, Nancy. What a she demands people, like she is so strategic. She doesn't even. I mean, she probably just has her team being strategic. She's a authority head at this time. She's a lifelonger. Like I said, her husband and her have been. He's been well off, and she's been in the business. I read a Wikipedia on it, and it was like her husband Paul pushed her into politics when he had built up his capital and his real estate businesses. But really, when you look at her life, her father was a very prominent Baltimore mayor and tried to run for governor, but got caught with allegations of massive corruption and had to step down, but still got the mayorship for 2 more years because that didn't hurt him enough. I guess he was well liked enough, but he was considered a bought and paid for politician even back then, and massive bribe allegations. So either way, Paul Pelosi has been tied to Microsoft. Microsoft buy right before it had a massive jump, according to a bill passed by his wife. Visa and Tesla had the same situations where he bought up and increased wealth by quite big folds, way better than market, and that is called insider trading, and it is illegal. Congratulations. So yeah, she is a lifelong family politician, and she married somebody who had a mild amount of wealth, and they just both increased. And she has been doing this since 1987, when he pushed her into politics for the first time, and she won her very first election. So that's who she is. Even though her family's from Baltimore, she still won a election in California right off the bat. So that is Nancy Pelosi. Open secrets. I didn't even update this, and So her open secret starts back in '98. Like I said, her first elected seat was in '87. She has raised, I knew that was going to be a fun one, 63 million and spent 54 million, which means she has 8.8 million cash on hand. So of course she has to run, even though she's 80 something and should just retire, retire, retire. And of course, being Nancy Pelosi, health services is a big contributor. That's just fantastic. University of California, no really, no really, that's amazing. Silicon Valley, when you live in Silicon Valley, that's kind of expected, guys. I'm not anybody paid for in the area is going to be that. A winery, I guarantee they get some favorable connections. I bet they get some favorable connections for water. Water is very scarce in the area, and Wells Fargo is the bank of the West Coast there, so they of course would give well to her. And top industries, health professions. I wonder why she's not for Medicare for all when the health professions is one of her top industry. Democrat liberal, that's just usually a sly term for other Democrats giving her chunks of money because she's given chunks of money to the Democratic. It's all just handshakes. And real estate, that's odd that real estate gave her a lot of money because, that's what her husband made his fortunes on, was real estate. So that's a little bit not surprising, knowing that she raised a lot of money in 2020. That's fun. That's kind of scary, how much money she raised in 2020. Why does she need to push so hard for a campaign? She have a close campaign when we don't know about? Did I not know about a close campaign? I don't think this poor lady has ever had. So 2020, she raised a massive amount of money and did not have necessarily a close campaign. So why do you need to raise buku bucks for pretty much blowout campaigns? That's why she gets the top seat. She pushes that envelope. All right, Gallo Wine, auto workers. So a lot of unions. Federation unions. So she gets money in the individuals from groups. She gets these bulk massive amounts of money from groups in Northern California. So like I said, her industries is the healthcare industry. That is number one. Real estate up out there, securities and investments. That means Silicon Valley, big banks, massive conglomerate real estate companies, lawyers, and Democratic PACs. So that's Nancy Pelosi. That's no surprise. And her net worth, she's gonna put it at 114 million according to open secrets. Sorry guys. So yeah, she's worth a little bit. 114 million according to them. Again, with her husband having another massive wealth, and she is well off. Good for her. It'd be super fantastic. She's one of the 6 richest at that too. That's kind of gross. That's pretty gross. She's corporate. I wish she would not ever run again, but she is running again. She's 80 some god years old, so you're probably a billionaire. You and your husband probably actually have $1 billion. You have some 300 to 500 million on paper, so you're probably a billionaire. Just disappear, please disappear. And you ask for people for donations to you gotta fight the Republicans. You gotta give us more money. You gotta fight the Republicans. I'm only worth 115 million, but you're worth 30,000 a year, so you gotta give money to me to help fight the Republicans. I hate her. So that's why we are going to attack. Let's attack now. Let's depallet Nancy Pelosi. So this is her at the United Nations Climate Change Summit here a little while ago. I want to, yeah, when was this exactly? November 9th of 2021. This is absolutely beautiful. She is trying to call on a female journalist at this summit, and she calls on Abby Martin, a absolute powerhouse of anti. Her show is called The Empire Files. She's trying to take down the empire, which is the United States government and the corporations propping it up and surrounding it. And she calls on her. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Thank you.
Gender equality here. Maybe I don't.
Abby Martin with the Empire Files. Speaker Pelosi, you just presided over a large increase in the Pentagon budget. This Pentagon budget is already massive. The Pentagon is a larger polluter than 140 countries combined. How can we seriously talk about net zero if there is this bipartisan consensus to constantly expand this large contributor to climate change, which is exempt from these conferences? Military is exempt from climate talks.
Well, I just want to use an example if I can. You know, the sea level rise is an important part of, what's happening to the climate. And I'm not a defense person, but I've had so many talks with the Defense Department, with the Navy in particular, about how they have to respond to what's going on. So I really do think that there is no reason why what we're putting together, with Build Back Better and other things, can't respond to the Defense Department and have the same impact in terms of reducing emissions. And I do think that the Defense Department is very much aware of the fact that they have to play a major role, both from a strategic as well as, for the good of the world. So I don't see what we're doing in any way, or, increasing the defense budget as being something that's inconsistent with climate action. I really don't.
And may I just add that national security advisors all tell us that the climate crisis is a national security matter. It is, of course, a health matter for our children, the water they drink, the air they breathe, etc. It is a jobs issue between clean technologies being the future of our workforce and the training for all of that. It is a national security issue because of the all of the conditions that climate crisis produces. I won't go into all of them, but they do are cause for migration, conflict over habitat and resources, and again, a security challenge globally, and then the fourth, of course, the moral issue that we need to pass on this planet to future generations in a responsible way. Now, recognizing what you said, we recognize that as well, and a big user of fuel. There have been many initiatives over time, more successful with more technology, to convert from fossil fuel to other sources of fuel to run the military, because it would make the biggest difference. Transportation, defense, these are two of the biggest, can make the biggest difference in all of that, and that is something.
So she acknowledges it would make a difference if we updated and changed things, but she does not ever say that, yes, it should be in this legislation right now. Yes, it should be getting addressed right now. She just says she understands that it's important. But thank you for not saying that, yeah, this should be absolutely in this bill, and we should start putting it into what we are trying to change for the future, and just, instead of saying it's important, say, what are you going to do? When are you going to do it? But thank you for both of you trying to sidestep Abby's question. And thank you for Abby Martin. Abby Martin's a fantastic journalist. She actually does journalism. She doesn't do anchorage or talking points. Give her and the Empire Files absolute checkout. And yeah, we check them out every couple nights. So check that out. Thank you, Nancy. I was checking out Government Secrets today, and they had a couple-minute little thing on Nancy Pelosi while they were doing it. I heard it live. I checked it out a second time, and it's been a few hours, so let's check it out again. This is Government Secrets. They do a couple hidden CIA or hidden FBI or hidden American government takeover style gems every day, and or not every day, Jesus, once a week podcast.
There's a lot of things you can do. A lot of things we can do with that money. something to be proud about, you know what I mean? But Nancy Pelosi just said the Democratic Party stands with working Americans, or whatever she just said in one of her dumb speeches. She just sounds like she's always drunk.
She said like the Democratic Party has delivered to Americans as we promised. You're like, what the fuck?
What are you fucking talking about?
You know what's great about that clip is both right and left Democrats and Republicans across this country can come together to say, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you? Yeah, I know. It's just people from diametrically opposed are like, what in the world are you talking about? Just like, we've come, just like, you mean when the Supreme Court lifted the eviction moratorium? Is that when you guys came to help all Americans? Like, God, it's unbelievable how out of touch they are. It's unbelievable. Well, somebody wrote, Graham's Nancy Pelosi makes me laugh every damn time. Well, I'm glad that the citizens of the chat of this fine show.
Gotta lighten things up a little bit. Always good to lighten things up a touch. And I wanted to finish out with, Jimmy Dore from April 21st of 2021. You know, probably did it on his live cast on 420, so he's probably nice and stony. So let's check out his stony clip on Nancy Pelosi.
So during the pandemic, Nancy Pelosi, a 100 millionaire and the leader of the People's Party, the Workers' Party, went on the CBS Late Late Show with James Corden, and watch what she did.
We're here with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and we've asked her to share something from her home for a little Late Late Show and Tell. Speaker Pelosi, what have you found? What are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate.
Really?
Chocolate candy.
No, just keep in mind, most people in America have no idea how they're going to pay their rent. They're losing their health care. They're in line at food banks. There's lines wrapping around stadiums so people can get food right now.
This is during lockdown. This is back during lockdown.
They passed $4.2 trillion to the richest people in the country, did nothing for you, and now they're on vacation. And she thinks it's a good idea. This is how tone deaf, out of touch. She thinks it's a good idea to go on a late night talk show and goof around about how she's handling it, the quarantine. Oh my God. Let's watch.
Oh wow.
And this is something you can get through the mail.
Okay.
Run out. And show you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the episode of Cribs I never knew I needed. Oh my. Wow.
Other people in our family look for some other flavors, but
people are lined up at food banks. This isn't the billionaire Trump.
How did she get reelected? How did she get reelected last time? This was during an election cycle, right? No. She would have got sworn in, and she would have got reelected in 2022. Come on. How did she get reelected after this? Come on, guys. Ugh. Share this out to anybody you know in California. This is ridiculous.
Doing this. This is the leader of the people. The People's House. The Workers' Party. So she thinks it's a good idea why people are lined up in mile-long lines to get $30 grocery bag full of food. She goes on national television and shows all the different ice creams. How she's enjoying this quarantine because she's got all these different ice creams in her $12,000 refrigerator. And she doesn't have a worry in the world. She's not worried about paying her bills or getting health care or getting food.
And I'm going to be taking out Frank Pallone, guy from the last video who helped sidestep Abby Martin with Nancy. Since you helped sidestep Nancy tomorrow I'll be taking him down at 12:20. Another day off stream with tons of clips and a bit of effort put in because I have more time in the day. But Frank Pallone's coming down, the guy that sidestepped too. He's
Anything.
You're going back to work.
Never side with this lady. Never side with her.
going back to work.
All right.
There's a
That's good enough there, I guess.